Hi everyone, welcome back to Story Time with Miss B. Today I have a very special story for you. It is called Shark Lady, the true story of how Eugenie Clark became the ocean's most fearless scientist. Now this story is special because it is a non-fiction story. So is non-fiction true or is it not true? That's right, it is a true story. It's also a special nonfiction story called a biography. A biography is a story written about a person's life. So this is going to be a true story about this lady's life. She was known as the Shark Lady, and her name was Eugenie Clark. So we're going to learn about her and what made her special. I have help here from a friend. I couldn't find a shark, so I found a narwhal. It's the closest thing to a shark I could find. That might be something interesting to look up later. What is the difference between a narwhal and a shark? My guy looks kind of friendly and sparkly. I don't know if narwhals are sparkly in real life. That's something that maybe you can find out and let me know. All right, let's get started on our story. Oh, and I am reading this with permission from the author and from the publisher. It is written by Jess Keating, and the illustrations are by Martha Alvarez McGuinness. Okay. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittery rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with the sharks? To breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. To others, sharks were ugly and scary, but Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them. So she dove. Look how beautiful. This time, into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know about them all. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. Look at the sharks coming out of the books. That's pretty cool. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as the ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. It's Nemo. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks, be a secretary, be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans, and they said sharks were mindless monsters. Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark, and so Eugenie dove. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grow, how they behave, and how they were put together, both inside and out. Despite all the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, many still doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. Oh goodness. A Red Sea sand diver, a barred Cynia pipefish, and a volcano triplephin. On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was so beautiful. In the Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive when she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. And they are just taking a nap. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven that she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot, many still believed that sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. Could she train a shark the way a person trains a dog? Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks and even learned they could remember their training for at least 2 months after. So it looks like if they push that button, it rings a bell and they get a fish. That's cool. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. That is the end. Now there's some extra information that I'm going to post along with the link to the story time that will show you some more information about the lady in this book, Eugenie Clark, and also the author, Jess Keating, who is a scientist herself, and she writes tons of science books. Love her. And there's an interview with her that I'm also going to link for you. So I hope you enjoyed the story time, and we will see you again soon.